Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Arrow. And I don't know, but if you have seen that Netflix TV series called Unabomber, you would have seen that that particular bomber, he was caught because of his handwriting and because of 10 years of handwriting. And the forensic team matched his handwriting to his older handwritings. And that's how it happened. And I want to say that I started this podcast just because, but I never knew that I would get a chance to talk to a person who actually does that kind of work and who actually studies handwriting of people. And Mugdha, I welcome you to the Arrow.
Thank you so much.
So, first of all, introduce yourself to the viewers.
Yeah, I'm Mugdha here, and hello everyone. I am a chartered accountant by profession, but while pursuing my CA studies, I realized that there is something more I'm interested in than numbers. So, the healing or energy or psychology, this is the one thing which always excites me. I'm always inclined towards all these fields. And I just started my own search, my own inner search, I would say. I did a lot of meditation courses for the same. I did Vipassana, then Art of Living, just to understand what's my real calling is. And then I landed up in one of the graphology course, and I did my diploma there while pursuing CA as well. So initially, when I started learning graphology, it's more of uh, it's like, wow, I can understand so much about people by just looking at their handwriting. And I was in the last year of college, and it was like I was getting famous because a lot of people were coming to me and I was saying, hey, Mira, show, please tell me something, and all. And it felt so good. Wow. Even small chits like waiter, whenever we go to hotels and restaurants, anywhere, whenever I used to get these bills and everything, I used to analyze the writings, signature. It was so exciting, this whole field. And slowly, when I started getting deeper into it, then I thought the person we see in front of us is just 25% of what is there inside. The whole programming, since that person is from day one to suppose 30-year-old or 35, 40, the whole programming of all these years is there inside, and what we see outside is just the reflection. It's just the small manifestation or small part of the whole personality. And after that, I started getting deeper into it. I did the advanced level as well. Then I started working as a transformation coach. I got trained under the international coach Arfin, and I got certified as a transformation coach. So now I completely into it. I had a 7 years of corporate experience in CA field, and now I'm completely into the coaching and healing, the healing field.
Awesome. So, is it because you were interested in reading the handwritings, or you just led to it through the process of getting into healing and helping?
Yeah. I was interested in all this behavioral science and psychology.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew about graphology earlier when I just started my own search. But when there is a calling, whatever you seek is seeking you. It's kind of thing that happened. Then I got some reference from one of my friend, and then I started. Let's join this class. Let's see what it is. This seems very interesting. And then I did first 2 levels. It's like that. It happened like that. I didn't know earlier.
I see.
There's something called that.
So, honestly, till the time I talked to you, I didn't know what graphology is. I have never heard of this word. And if someone has said to me graphology, I would have related it to maths or statistics or something commercial, but never to handwriting. So, tell me, and my viewers here, something about graphology. What actually is it, and how it works and how it helps?
Yes, graphology, technically the definition is Graphology is a graphic representation of your thoughts. uh, you know, we have a big programming in our conscious mind and subconscious mind. Shall I got into some more details just to
All the
explain?
details you can
Yeah,
tell.
yeah. From 0 to 7 years. So I would say from not even day one. Whenever we are in our mother's womb, from that time the programming starts happening. Our mind, through all our senses, touch, eyes, ears, everything picks up information, and that information is stored in, all your brain cells. And even whenever you take birth, every cell has the memory of past. We say, whenever the child is born, we say, oh, you look like your grandmother, oh, you are looking like your uncle, or like that. That is
Yeah.
what, that is the information which is stored in your cells.
Mhm.
So from birth we are gathering this information that is being stored. We are getting programmed by the influences which happen around us. And the mind knows two influences, like male influence and female influence. From 0 to 7 years, it's more of a female influence. The child is more connected to mother, and the emotional side, emotional foundation is built in those years, 0 to 7 years. So mother or female, I won't say just a mother, but mother figures like grandma or teachers, all the mother figures or the female figures. And next 7 to 14 years is more programmed by the father figures or male influence. The action part gets developed in those years. So our mother, father, teachers, then what we see, what we hear a lot, everything what has been, passed on to us from anybody which has a great influence on us, that everything programs our mind. And the psychology, the belief system, the behavior is starts forming in those years. And afterwards also we get influence, but those are the strongest, strongest influences, and major years of creating the whole foundation of
Mhm.
or creation of our mindset. And you see, whenever we have been taught in school, whenever the writing has been taught in school, we have been taught in certain way. A has to be written like this, B has to be written like this. For English medium, there is cursive writing. For vernacular mediums, it's disconnected letters. But when you see your writing today, it's totally different. It's not what you have been taught. Suppose you have been, can I just show you something?
Yeah.
I have just a little board with me to show some quick things.
I can't see it because of the background. Yeah, you have to
Okay.
put vertical,
Okay.
make it vertical, maybe. Yeah, here.
Yeah.
You have to put in front of you somehow.
Yes. Just a second. See,
Yeah.
now in school we have been taught to write F in certain way, but now some people write it this way, some people write it this way, some people write it this way, and there are many more varieties. I have seen a number of varieties. So why this happens? The pen, overall whole body movement, not just writing, the whole body movement is controlled by brain. Brain, is the authority, or I would say the controller of the whole body. Each and every signal is passed on by brain. And if you see the body language, even body language tells us a lot about what is going inside the person mind. But this gives so many details, and this gives so much accuracy of understanding anybody's personality, because it includes a lot of senses. Whenever you write, your sense of touch is active. Whenever you write, your sense of you see the writing, because then your sense of seeing is happening at the same time. Then whenever you write, even if you are not talking to somebody, or even if you are not talking loudly, you are saying words to yourself, so you are listening your own words. So that is also happening. So there is more involvement. And whenever this activity of writing happens, uh, there are certain neural areas in our brain that gets activated. See, you can try out. Nowadays people write very little. I mean, it's all on computers and everything. I don't know, whenever the last time you must have written at least a page. So, but writing is such an amazing tool to create any change.
Mhm.
Whenever you write, if you are in any confusion or any problem, and if you write it down, you will feel lot of solutions are coming to you, lot of clarity is coming to you. Whenever you write about, if something is overwhelming you, you're anxious about something and you write about it, you feel it's like the burden is gone.
Mhm.
You feel very light. So this writing is so so much, it actually opens up, activates certain areas in your brain. And that's why whenever a person writes, the pen is like a tongue of their subconscious mind. It just speaks their mind. So this is all about how it represents, how writing represents your mind. And what we can understand from the writing is like number of things: the weaknesses of that person, how mother father influences of that person, the person follows rules or he's rebellious, the other personality traits like self-esteem, self-confidence. If there are any health issues, those can also be found from the writing. The social image of the person, the relationships of the person, even the accidental writing or suicidal tendencies can also be, reflected in the writing. And we have seen that. I can tell you examples. We have
Mhm.
taken a lot of workshops in colleges and corporates also. Mainly, a lot of I have studied a lot of samples, student samples, the people who are pursuing either engineering or normal commerce arts, anything, student samples. And as well as I was working in the recruitment analysis as well. So it's especially in student writing I have seen this trait of suicidal tendencies. And when even in just 5 minutes, whenever I tell them about their own own thoughts, they had such a overwhelming response. They started crying and they were like, "Ki, oh my god, you don't even know me. You are meeting me for the first time, and in this 5 minutes you are telling so much things about me that the people around me, people who are close to me, also don't know about me." That
Mhm.
is the power of writing. I mean, it's reflection of your own mind. And all these things can be understood. Then focus level, concentration level, decision making powers, leadership qualities, initiative taking capabilities, how the person gets along with other people, the kind of expressiveness. Some people are reserved, some are more expressive. Everything can be understood from the writing. Deceiving tendencies, and there are, I mean, the people who work on criminal cases and all, they have specialization in that subject. I mean, they can understand the criminal writings like that. And I must tell you one thing. Suppose I got a sample and I could see there are 20, 30 traits. It's not necessary that those are active at the moment or those are active day-to-day basis. You might see that, oh my God, I don't think so. This person is like that. I have never seen him like that. But those are there in the subconscious mind, and it can activate whenever the situation like that arises. So I started because initially it happened like that, especially with friends and all. I used to say, no, I don't think I knew this person from like 5 years, 6 years, and no, I don't see this trait in his personality. And then certain incidences used to happen, and I was like, believe the handwriting, not what you just see. So that's the power of handwriting. And the best part is, one thing is awareness, which we get after handwriting analysis. What next? Is there a solution? So yes, there is a thing called graphotherapy. And graphotherapy, it works like reverse engineering. So as we say that, as I just told you, that whatever the mindset is, whatever the thought process is, it's get reflected in writing.
Mhm.
So if we change the writing, then the thought process can also be changed. Just we need to practice it consistently.
Uh,
And yeah. Sorry.
I see. No, no, I was just realizing what you said. And it's
Yeah.
I mean, by changing the writing you can change your mindset. And
Yes, yes,
like
yes,
you said,
definitely.
if you write down something or some confusion you have, you want to make some decisions, and if you write in a certain way, probably it can give you a mindset which is probably positive, of course, for our own betterment. And that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Yeah, and it just important. The important thing is, if there are certain in graphotherapy, we suggest certain changes to a person. Depends on person to person what their requirement is, what problems they are facing, and if they make that change in their writing and practice it consistently every day, it doesn't happen overnight, right? There is this pattern or this behavior is going on for years and years. So the change cannot be expected in a day or two or even a week. It takes at least 3 months for a simple change, and for deep rooted, deep rooted changes like there are certain patterns. Like suppose person realizes that self-deceiving, there are some self-deceiving tendencies that's happening, or procrastination or anger issues. So it takes some time, at least 6 months, to get over that, but it has a fantastic results. Yeah.
Hmm. I have a few questions about what you explained. I will ask them one by one. The first will be that when you said that right now, mostly the whole world is typing more and writing less. And after coronavirus, even kids, they are on Zoom, so probably they are also typing,
Yeah.
not writing much. So why typing is different from what we write? Because we cannot see the movement of the curves and how the people fold their letters and how they form their letters. This is the only reason.
No, it's not just how we see it. See, writing is just a one moment. I mean, whenever you write letters, every letter is different, every formation is different, and every letter has some meaning. And the writing process is directed by brain.
Mhm.
Here, the computer is not your brain, right? And you are right. You are just doing these movements on
Mhm.
computer, and instead of me telling you, you just try to write couple of pages and see the difference. Write couple of pages, handwritten page, write with your hand and write on computer, and you see the difference. Whatever, in IT, especially in IT, we have done some workshops in IT as well.
Mhm.
They feel that issue a lot because they hardly take a pen in hand, hardly. So they have a lot of stress and anxiety issues and even relationship issues because the release does not happen.
Mhm.
Release does not happen on computer. Whenever you, yeah, there is some kind of relief that happens if you are writing your thoughts on the computer, but whenever you write, that gives you altogether a different experience.
I see. Yeah, that makes total sense also. And the other point which came into my mind is that when you look at a handwriting hand on paper, what you focus on most? Is it the way a person writes a word? Because anyways, in after a few moments or minutes, we will discuss about my own handwriting. And while I was writing it, you asked me to write it on an unruled paper, like a plain paper, and I just don't know what the reason behind it. And the second is what you actually focus. Is it how the person
Yes,
moves, how
yes,
straight he
yes,
writes, and what
yes.
words he use
uh,
also?
yes, yes. I tell you, uh, what you write, the content does not matter. It
Mm.
matters if there are certain things. If there are certain things coming up from a writing, then only we read the line what has been written, the content. Otherwise, content does not matter.
Mm.
And why I tell you to write on a blank page, because even rule, we have done analysis from rule page as well. But there are certain things like baseline of the writing. I mean, is it going upward? Is it going in a straight way? Is it going downward? It also defines certain aspects. Uh, then margins. On a ruled paper, there are mainly, if you see the notebooks, there are already margins given on the notebooks. Even the sometimes right margins also we take care of whenever we write in the notebooks. The blank paper is like blank canvas.
Mm.
And it's same for everyone. It's like a 24 hours of a day is same for everyone, and just everyone makes it different, or everyone, what everyone do with that 24 hours is very different.
Yeah.
So blank paper is like a blank canvas, and then everything of your everything in your mindset comes up accurately on the blank page. And there are some more things which we can analyze, like I said.
Another thing.
Yeah, can I just add on something?
Mm.
If to give you example, on the rule page, suppose you are in a very great mood right now, great mood. On a blank page, on a rule page, you will still write properly on the line or little above the line. But if your mood is great, and if you write on a blank page, the writing is automatically go upwards. Whenever you are in the low mindset, the writing will go little downwards. That happens on the blank page, but that doesn't rule page doesn't allow you that flexibility.
And that reminded me of my school days, because sometimes my teacher used to ask us kids to write on the blackboard. At that time, there were blackboards on the wall, not those green
Yeah.
plastic ones. And people used to write all this. So every kid was writing in upward. So kids were always in the good mood. So now
Yeah. And there are certain things like the people on the ruled page. What we can understand from a ruled page is, one thing is, suppose a person is writing properly on the line. Some people like to write little above the line, and some people like break the line. Even as a layman, logically you can see that the people who break the line and write, they like to break the rules. They are a little rebel in tendency. And they don't like social rules. They will form their own rules and obey that, but they don't like social rules and family, the rules which are set by family and all. So those things, those can be reflected on the ruled paper, but blank paper says much more than that.
talking about myself, I had a very different handwriting when I started. I still remember, because all teachers of mine said once upon a time that your handwriting is very beautiful. In parents teacher meeting, they used to tell my parents. And after some time, they said that your handwriting is very bad, and they used to tell my parents also. And then I deliberately tried to sort of copy or mimic the handwritings of people who who teachers say that, okay, her handwriting is good. Mostly they were girls, their handwriting were always good. And
Yeah.
there was one girl, and I personally liked her handwriting. Teacher didn't say it. And she used to write in between those two lines, because normally people touch the bottom line, and she used to write in between those two lines, and I liked that way. And I started writing that way, and it's still going on. I mean, I cannot touch the line even if I try. So does it somehow changes the uh, observation which you can make? Because my handwriting is not self evolved, but it was influenced by some other person.
Yes, definitely. As I tell you, the thing which happened is like reverse engineering happened with you. So you copied something, you didn't knew the meaning, what it implied, but you just liked it. But you know what? We tend to accept things which align with our mind.
Good point.
Yes. Why you liked her writing? It might not be, what you thought initially, but you liked it because there is something in your mind which aligned with it, and then that's why you accepted it. Oh, I want to do like that. Did you like to present something or perform or be on a stage?
Yeah,
Did you like that kind of attention?
all the time. Right now I'm doing a podcast.
See, that's what it implied.
I see. I actually, whenever these type of things happen and teacher used to ask who wants to go first, I always raised
Yeah,
up my
yeah,
hand.
yeah, yeah.
I see. And another thing is that Yesterday, I wrote and sent something to you to discuss today, and let's
Yes,
see
yes.
how you do it. And
Yeah.
what I did was that I had two options. I either can write it myself, whatever comes in my mind, or either I can write by looking at his text and I just copy. And since I had two more recordings yesterday, so I didn't have time. So I just copied what I am reading currently.
Okay.
And does it make a difference if it is coming from your own subject?
Yeah. Because generally, when we do this professional handwriting sessions, we ask them not to copy or not to write the poem. Because
Mhm.
again, the poem is typically in some format. So people tend to write in the middle of page.
Hmm.
And it also implies something which may not be true. But because they have written poem, they write in the middle of page.
Hmm.
So we generally suggest that don't write poems and don't copy from anywhere, because whenever you write, what you write doesn't matter, but the flow of thoughts is different when you write yourself instead of copying it. But still, I mean, a lot of things can be told from. I just saw your writing, yeah, and a lot of things can be derived from that also. So that's
And
not.
what else do you ask your students, or not your students, or your people who you are
Uh,
reading, apart from
yeah.
this?
First of all, the basic writing guidelines are very simple. Write on the blank page,
Mhm.
and if we want some, if there is specific purpose, suppose there are some children issues, then we again ask them to write on ruled page as well, because it again tells something more about the child. Otherwise, generally we tell them to write on a blank page, one and a half, not back to back. Suppose I have a blank page, right? So this is a page. So
Mhm.
this is page number 1. So full page, and this is page number 2. At least half page or more than half page.
I
And not to write back to back, write different on a different page. And then after writing, they have to make signature 3 times.
see.
So that is what is required. Sit in comfortable position and write it, and write your own thing. Don't copy, don't write poems. That's the only thing. And then how they want to write, they can write this way, they can put it horizontally, and they can write the whichever ink they want to use, whichever color, ink pen, ball pen, it doesn't matter. And again, whatever they are doing, whichever pen they are using, that also implies something. The
Oh,
people who are using ink pens, the people who are using gel pens, and the people who are using ball pen, again, that also differentiates something about them.
I see. So, how do you live with yourself by your own handwriting? Do you still look at your handwriting? Okay, now something is
Yeah,
going wrong.
yeah. Actually, when I started on this journey, so some things came as a big shock. I mean, oh my God. And first of all, there are certain things which, I mean, I cannot deny it about myself. Yes, I knew this is happening, and it helped tremendously when I started changing it. And there are certain things which I didn't accept it at the moment. I mean, yes, on the face of it, I didn't accept, but I tried to go deep into it. I tried analyzing that, is it true, or whatever this implies to me, is it true, or is it really my pattern? And when I connected the dots and everything, the all the pieces of puzzles, they just got resolved. And I changed my signature as well. It was horrible earlier.
I see.
Yeah. By end of the session or after some time, I would like to tell some essentials, which people can take from this session, and they
Mhm.
can start changing those things in their writing, and they will see the amazing result. Because if that will give some great value to their personality, and especially if the students are starting on their journeys, and they're starting their professional career, and if they do that changes, that will help in their career and profession as well. So by end of the session, we might get into that
Yeah,
part.
we definitely
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
Um, when I was talking to you earlier to set this date, you told me that these are used in many corporate sectors, also in some businesses also. So tell me something about that.
Yeah. Corporate sector, it is used mainly in recruitment analysis. So in the recruitment analysis, we check different parameters which employer is looking into that person, like leadership qualities, decision making. Then it depends on the role. So now if the person, if the employer wants that person to handle the team, then that person needs to have some leadership qualities. Then they have to be literally a kind of motivating person. They must have that initial taking capabilities to take initiatives. Then they should be able to take team together. So there are some people who themselves don't like to interact much. They are loner. They are very intelligent, technically very great, but they are kind of loner. If you appoint such kind of a person in leadership role, even if he is great in his own work, that's not going to help the team, right? So we check these different parameters of the person. Then there are certain personal traits are also checked, like deceiving tendencies, attention seeking tendencies. Now, you know what, to tell you some examples, there are some jewelry companies who used to send the handwriting samples. And when I was working with my own mentor, so for them, loyalty was the most important part. The people who are actually involved in jewelry making, they want those people to be creative, to be very loyal, honest. If there is even a small amount of gold here and there, and it can create a big loss for a company. So depend upon the requirement of that position, we check those kind of factors in the people. Communication skills, decision making skills, then health issues, stress management skills, how person performs under the pressure, how good that person is in taking the opportunities. uh, does that person likes to follow rules regulations, or he sets his own rules regulations. So everything is checked in that fashion.
I- Sometimes I think that this world is wonderful. There are so many things which I don't know about, and I never would have thought that a recruitment process also includes study of handwriting. And last thing before we move on to my own handwriting, when you look at a particular thing, for example, like you said that if you are writing in between two lines, so every trait means only one thing, or every trait can mean several things, and then you
No,
have
no, no.
to deduce
Yeah.
on based on the
Yes, yes,
individual.
yes. Yes. Every trait has doesn't necessarily mean just a one thing.
Hmm.
There are, now you have given me your handwriting sample.
Hmm.
So there are multiple traits which are visible from your sample. And so we connect those traits and then form the conclusion. So it's not just A is equal to one. And so
And
graphology is a science, but doing handwriting analysis and delivering that analysis is an art. So it needs connecting different points and solving that thing. It's like that.
so how do you do it? Is it all, what can I say? Is it all like a practice and you observation, or do you have something calculations, formulas, and something like that?
Yeah, there are certain connotations which are there. Like for example, I can tell you, if you see the T, letter T, sorry, I will write just a second. See, this is the letter T. So this crossbar is very well formed crossbar, right? So this shows a great level of determination in that person. If that crossbar is like this, very small, very low persistence level, they cannot stick to one thing, they can give up things in between. Low level of determination, some lack of confidence, it will show. So this trait is same, right? But looking at their letter T, looking at the way that person is using the margin,
Hmm.
looking at the baseline of that person, I can tell you certain things. One example of how the conclusions are derived.
Hmm.
Suppose this is the page, okay?
Yeah.
And from here I'm writing like not in a straight line, it's getting wavy. Okay.
Hmm.
It's getting wavy. The some letters going up, some letters going down, like that.
Hmm.
Okay. I like that. Then my letter T is like this. Very small line, something like that.
Hmm.
So here I am losing a lot of opportunity because of my low self-confidence or because of my low determination. So using right margin, the way person uses the right margin
Hmm.
will show a lot of things of how he uses his opportunities.
I
So
see.
obviously, the person with little low self-confidence uh, tend to think a lot before taking any opportunity. There is a difference between giving a proper thought and analysis before taking a step and just being in doubt, whether I would be able to do it or not do it. The people with low self-confidence tend to miss out on the opportunities because of this thinking. Why? No, whether I would be able to do it, shall I do it or not do it? So again, the overall success rate will come down.
And you gave an example of just one letter T. So you have
Yeah.
to do it for all 26?
No. I tried to show you that letter T using the margin, and plus if you see my baseline, the way
Hmm.
I have written,
Hmm.
it's wavy, right? The baseline shows the focus of the person.
No, no, I get that. But for
Yeah,
T, you have something related to how they cross the
right.
symbol. So
Yeah.
is it for every word you have to think about that, okay, he has written A this way, B this way, C this way, D this way, and so on?
Yeah. Every word has certain connotations. Yeah, every word. And now A can be written in 20 different ways. So
Hmm.
20 different ways has 20 different meanings.
And also one thing, again, I realized myself because I was writing just to send you, and I realized that okay, if I am writing, for example, again take A, maybe some people start from top, some people start from bottom, then go
Yeah.
top, and then go. So everything matters.
Yeah. And one more thing, retracing also matters. I mean, suppose you are writing a letter L, okay?
Hmm.
So I can write like this. This is not a retraced L, right?
Yeah.
Some people write like that. They will retrace on the same line.
Yeah.
Again, that also has a meaning. Uh,
Hmm.
I am writing A, okay, A, and I am retracing here. Sorry, like
I
this.
see. Hmm.
Even that retracing has a lot of connotation, lot of meaning.
So who the hell found out about this science that you can think something about and see something from writing?
Graphology, actually it started in India as well, and there is there are different things available. I'm not sure if I am the right person to tell yes this is the origin, but as per certain researchers, it started in the western part. There
Hmm.
are certain French researchers, and they started studying the handwriting of people. And even I have read a lot about, there are Indian rishis, Rishi Parashar, yes. He started the study of person's handwriting. He doesn't started in that way, but he started something from handwriting. But I won't be able to say that this is the only thing which is correct. Um,
Yeah, maybe it's
yeah,
for people to find out about this themselves.
yeah.
Okay. So probably I will share my screen right now and
Yeah.
let's see about.
What your writing says.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, just one thing, one permission I need to
Yeah.
take from you. Generally, whenever we do analysis, it's one-to-one. It's very confidentiality is one of the main clause.
Mm.
So without that person's permission, we don't even allow their partners, mom, dad, anybody to join in that one-to-one session. If that person allows, then only it's okay. So will it be okay for you, or maybe there are certain very personal details if I derive from your writing, I may not be able to tell in this
It is
particular
okay. You
session.
can tell me and everything, but they cannot know everything, and I will edit those parts out which I don't want to get.
Good. Yeah.
So I will share the first page.
Yeah. Even I have your writing saved here.
Mhm.
One thing which I told you earlier, that you like to be you like attention from people, appreciation from people,
Yeah.
and you like to perform, you like to be on stage, give speeches and talk to people. You are very good in communication,
Mhm.
in interpersonal, even in negotiations and convincing people. You are very good in that. And your memory is very strong. I mean, if you just was in school, if you remember the first point, you will remember all the 10 other points as well. Your memory is that you have that good flow of memory, is it? If you
I will first
disagree.
write down everything and then I will say which is wrong.
Okay. Yeah, great. You are a moody person. Sometimes you feel like expressing yourself, but at times you just go into your own shell and you want to be alone, not getting disturbed by anybody, and you just want to sit alone with your own self. Uh, you are very helpful, very cooperative. First, I will tell all the good things. Let's do like that.
Obviously.
Efficiency is very nice. The way you do any work, the efficiency level is very good. You have high goals, uh, good confidence level, good self esteem. Just a second. uh, while taking any decisions, you get into the depth of that decision. You collect all the possible information. You get into the depth of that decision, and then you take action. You have a very interesting approach towards relationship or romantic relationships, I would say. uh, you're very caring about that person. All the communication part is very good with you. You have that moodiness, but after some limit, if that person is showing too much of tantrums, you will be like, oh my god, I'm done now. I don't care now. Let me move on. That kind of approach I can see. I know, I don't know whether you would accept that or not. You tend to take a lot of more responsibility. There are certain work which is I won't say assigned to you. Even you are supposed to do certain amount of work, but you will tend to take more and more and more responsibility. You started taking responsibilities from very early age, I would say. Uh, and the another thing, in school as well, you like to hold the events or be a captain of the school, secretary or GR of the class. It was like captain of the class. You might be doing that as well. You have a good eye for beauty. You like beautiful paintings, beautiful music, beautiful art. Your color sense would be very good. Dressing sense, color sense, that is good. uh, your choices are good. Test and choice in everything, it's good. On a sympathy level, I would say you are a sympathetic person, but you won't just say it, you will directly act on it. Like some people, they would say a lot of things, but they won't act. Now suppose somebody is sick in the house, They will say, oh, I'm always there for you. What do you want? Tell me. And they will talk a lot about sympathy. You are the one who won't even talk with that person more, but you will just take that person to a doctor first. You will be the person who will take the action regarding sympathy. You're little harsh with yourself. You tend to stretch yourself a lot. About now, just give it a minute. I will open the signature page on my end. In the social, and you're very ambitious person. You have a good friend circle, and with your cousins, you have a great bonding with your cousins. Even since school time, your friends are like, they might be coming to your home. You're staying overnight with them. That kind of good friend circle you had at the school time as well, and now also. In social environment also, you are very helpful, but you are secretive about your own self. You don't like to reveal your personal details to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
In the relationship, you will be the more dominating one.
Mm-hmm.
You are very selective about the people from whom you want to learn. I mean, if any there are people with certain, you will look for people with certain authority. If there is some normal person which is not that great in your own eyes, even if he is telling you something really great, you won't be that receptive for that person. You're very selective about from whom you can take a criticism, and from whom you want to from whom you can take the learnings.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's come to some bitter truths.
Awesome.
Okay. You are more close to your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Father influence is little less. And even if you are more close to your mother, you don't want influence of either your mother or father to be there in your profession. You want to make your profession and your presence on your own without their support. Even if they are ready to support you, you don't want that support. You want to do things on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Take time to start anything. There is a lot of time wastage in starting anything. And once it starts, then you get into your own flow. But otherwise, there is some waste of time, confusion while starting things. I feel you have some kind of stomach issues, especially whenever. Are you staying with your parents right now?
No.
Okay, especially when you were staying with your parents.
Okay.
There is one more thing, that is it consistent? The consistency in writing also matters. I mean, suppose you have written B in particular fashion in your writing, but if it is happening consistently, then only we can conclude that yes, this trait is present in that writing. Just once it's happened, that doesn't mean that trait is there. And generally, there is a interesting thing why we ask people to write 2 pages. There is a big reason behind that. See, even if you look into your notebooks, school notebooks, the starting 5-7 pages are so well written. There is not even a single scratch.
Yeah.
And if you go ahead, oh my God, the reality comes in. Whenever you write the exam papers also, the first 2 papers are slowly, properly written. And when the time is less, or whenever you start getting into your own flow, the whole haphazard thing comes into picture. It's the same thing with the person as well. Whenever you meet someone first time, second time, you generally don't show up your true nature. You are very, as per social etiquettes and mannerism, and you try to create a good impression always. But when you meet that person every day, and or whenever you are used to that person for a long period of time, then you don't pretend to be someone else. You are what you are. So
Absolutely.
that's the reason when you write 2 pages, the first, some part of the page is always going to be what you want to impress on the other person. And the real thought process comes afterwards. That's why we ask people to write 1.5 page. So second page becomes all the more important.
Oh, so this one is the second page. I don't think I messed up too much. Yeah, but I know I messed up.
Yeah. And it's not about good handwriting, bad handwriting. It's about how it is written. Is that you tend to have a lot of etiquettes, mannerism, whenever you are in social gathering. It's difficult for you to just let go and just be, to lose your own control. You're always in very holding yourself very tightly, and in very controlled way you will act in front of other people. You are the person who will understand what is going to happen next. You have that futuristic thinking. You are able to crack climax of the movies and the ending part of the thrillers and all that kind of thinking. You tend to perform good under the pressure. First you will relax a bit, then when pressure hits in, then you show your true potential. Determination level is good. Your goals tend to vary a lot. It's you're more close to your maternal relatives like mama or your nani, mother's mother, grandma, to those relatives. You have suppressed creativity. There is a lot of ideas, lot of thinking, but it is suppressed. It's not properly expressed, or you are not finding the proper channel to showcase or show your creativity. You are a people person, but with your own space. I mean, you can never get into that flow. You are very focused on what you want to do, and even if there are certain very close people to influence you, you won't get distracted. You are focused. There might be a lot of people who are coming to you and tell their stories and secrets, cry on your shoulder. And there are a couple of more things. Did I told you you are harsh with yourself? And not just mentally, physically as well. I mean, there are certain players. I would give the example of players. There are certain players who will train themselves so hard, so harshly, that this is the extreme example I'm giving, that looking at them you will feel really pity. Why they're doing this kind of things with themselves. The extreme example is Bruce Lee. But to certain degree, I would say, in case of you. And you trust people a lot, but it also happens that you get deceived by them. See, for there are certain things where I see the sudden shift in writing. For that only I need to write, need to see what has been written. So mechanic, you don't, either you have some not so good, some bad experience with mechanic, or you don't look them with a, what should I say, how should I put it, You don't have a good opinion about mechanic,
I'm a mechanical engineer.
but still, or either you, is it the possibility that you wanted to do different kind of engineering or different kind of thing, but you became a mechanical engineer?
No, it's not the case, but probably you're right, because all the time, as I was a mechanical engineer, I was most afraid of ending up becoming a mechanic in a garage. If I fail, that is the last thing I would be doing.
Oh my God. Wow, this is a learning for me as well. See, this is why I told you, I can just tell you why I put this point. The line you have written, the freelance mechanic, suddenly that mechanic has gone down. Everything is in particular fashion, but that mechanic has gone down. That automatically reflects that there is something about the mechanic you are not happy about. There is some negative thought behind that word. So in that particular case, only we had to see what has been written. Otherwise, I didn't know what content you have written. Yeah.
Do you have any more points?
No, I think that's enough.
So, I mean, you have given me at least two these pages of points which I have written: good, bad, and neutral points. And out of those, I can only think of, I think if I count, maybe there are 50 points you have told me. And out of 50, I am just not so sure about dressing sense. I do not have any dressing. I don't care about how I dress. I just want the best way it is comfortable to me. I mean, the shorts and t-shirts are the easiest way. I don't even think about colors. But if I go outside, then probably I would think definitely about it. That okay, now I have to dress up properly. Other thing is that stomach issue. I'm not so sure that it was at any time was a problem for me. Touch wood. I mean, otherwise it's awesome.
Not major problem, I would say, because I had that a normal stomach upset, constipation, but that used to happen consequently, frequently, especially when you were staying with your parents.
I see. And the
Okay.
some were, I mean, directly, I mean, all others were directly what you were saying, but some you said that which I said, okay, this is bang on, double bang on. And just for example, when you say that your instincts are good for the future, you are correct that yes, I can sometimes see the future, not like a mentalist or something, or but yes, I can see how the particular thing will end. And most of the times people don't believe me that okay, this is going to end, no, everything will fine, no, this will be happening. And I tell them, and when I sometimes this is also my trait. I tell people, see, I am telling you this and I am writing this down that I told you this, because later when I tell you that I told you, you won't believe me. So
True.
this is my this I do actually. The other thing which is that yes, I like my own space a lot. I love people, I love everyone, but when I'm on my own space, I don't want anyone, and I don't know why, but it is what it is.
Yes.
And
Yes.
other thing is when you said that my memory is very strong. Yes, actually, I have a video plays in my in my mind when I think about past. Literally, a video plays. So that's why my memory is good. And yes, I directly I work well under pressure. That's also true. So I like the way you found this out by 2 pages of handwriting, and you did it just now. I mean, so fast and so easily. How do you learn this?
Actually, learning is one thing, and then till now I have almost done around 500 600 analysis till date.
I
So
see.
that practice also is very important. Thanks to my mentor also, because I was working with him for a few months. Uh, so I learned a lot from him as well. And then when I started doing it on a personal level, professional level, personal level, Then also I did a lot of analysis. Whenever we used to do analysis session in corporate, there used to be at least 50 people. Yesterday only I had a session in one of the very prestigious club of Pune, and there were at least 40-50 people, and I did analysis for these 50 people. So in one go it happened, and they just gave that sample on the spot. It was not a detailed analysis session like I did with you right now, but they just it was for a whole club, so they want to like major 4-5 points for everyone. But they have just given me, I explained them the theory, half an hour for theory, and afterwards almost 30 people had written it down, everything on the blank paper. They gave me that, and on the spot, on the mic, I looked at it and I gave them the points. So it's about practice, I would say. With lot of practice, it comes.
But I am right now currently still amazed.
Practice, and one very important thing I missed is meditation. Yeah.
Real meditation.
Yeah, meditation. Yes, I'm not very consistent, to be frank, but meditation improves the accuracy to different level, very different level.
Have you learned meditation somewhere?
Yes, I mean, I have learned meditation in Vipassana, and there is another meditation from Guru Paramhans Yoganand ji, the person who have written autobiography of Yogi. So that meditation I follow currently.
I see. Because I have heard about this. I mean, the school I went to, meditation, Bhavati Dhyan,
Yes.
transcendental meditation we used to do, but I have not done it in not so many years, but probably months. I have not done it. Just to ask you to explain to me, because this still is amazing that you gave me 50 points with just looking at. Can you give me an example that how you get it? For example, you are again bang on that I do not accept advice from anyone. I mean, people scold me, do take my advice, and I said no. If it is happening, then it is a learning, but I will do what I want. How do you get this from handwriting? Which, like you said, that T, someone crosses T small, big, like, how do you get this thing?
There is combination of threads. First of all, if you see your E, E is a little closed.
I see.
So E is basically your ears, I would say, in a simple language, ears, your listening thing. And the another is TH combination. If you see your TH combination, your T is taller than H. Yes, H is smaller. Okay. Yes. Sorry, please don't judge my handwriting. I'm writing in a very awkward way.
It's okay.
So this combination, your H is smaller than T. So your whole self-confidence level, self-esteem about yourself is so strong, and H is basically again for learning and knowledge gain. So in this combination, if the H is small and T is large, you won't accept criticism and learning for anybody, not from anybody, but from any for some people, they're so receptive to learning. They have this kind of combination. They have T is a little smaller and H is a little bigger. So if anybody tells them anything, they will accept it. But it's not the case with you.
Yeah, because you are bang on about.
You are very choosy. There are only certain people you believe in. That's why I told you, not even with your father, you are that receptive. Even if you believe that, yes, this makes little sense to me, then only you will believe or you will listen to advice. Otherwise, no. Whoever that person might be.
Yeah, that was another point which I thought that how did you come to it? Because I read a lot, so I know things about many things. I don't know everything about everything. So when people just give me single thought process of some advice or something, I cannot accept it. So you're right. I will sometimes accept advice, but I will at least know that, okay, 20% of it, I know that it's correct. So then I believe, okay, 80% must be correct also.
Right. Yes.
Amazing. How do you sleep? I will be reading writings all day of my life. I mean, it's so
Uh,
interesting.
no, to tell you the truth, Varun, when I just told you before that whenever I started learning this, that time it was much of the excitement kind of a thing and getting all the attention from people, because this is quite new and very interesting subject. Not a lot of people know about this. So they were very amazed whenever I used to do handwriting, and especially in college, the kind of mindset we have.
Hmm.
Yes, I'm getting all the attention, I'm getting famous and all.
Hmm.
And then when that realization, when I started getting into the depth of this and started understanding why that person is like that, I can judge the person. Anybody can judge the person from the in a minute. Yes, he's a very angry person. Oh my God, he's always into the stress. He's always complaining. But there are whole lot of things must have happened in that person's life, which has made him like that. So after some time, when I started analyzing people and all, that judgment approach just gone away, and it turned into something. Oh my God, this whole thing has happened in this person's life, and how can I make it better? Can I have a little impact in this person's life? Can I have that skill set, that knowledge, which will help him to get over these blocks, or get over, I would say, to get out of his own way, to put it in a better words. Uh, so that feeling took over all the judgment, and even my husband, whenever he writes, I look at his handwriting, and he is like, please don't analyze, please don't analyze. And I was like, no, it's the last thing I would do, analyzing my own parents, analyzing my own partner. It's not possible. I mean, and especially analyzing parents, who are we to analyze them? It's out of our reach basically. So it shouldn't be done ideally till you reach that level where you can accept anybody as they are.
Do you get skepticism from the first time people who seek your help in this through this way?
Till now, no, not a single one. Yes, it happens that certain people, and I can tell from writing also, I tell that people on the face that there are certain points I'm going to tell you now. You will deny, you are going to deny at first. But still, it's my job to tell you this, and you think over it in your own time. Because, yes, there are certain people who are like, no, I cannot. Either they are very analytical, they cannot trust somebody very easily. They want help, they are ready to learn, but they take their own time.
Mhm.
So that happens, but it's not like, oh, I never had such a bitter kind of experience that I have analyzed somebody's writing and that person is like, no, I don't believe this and all. That never happened.
And do you have any experience where the person's life was not literally, but somehow figuratively
Uh,
saved?
Yes, that was a major learning for me. I can tell you about one example, and this will tell you something, that a simple change, a simple one trait, when it is changed in your personality, how it impacts the every area of your life.
Mhm.
That example, that person must be in his between the age group 35 to 40. He was a professional engineer, and he came for one-to-one session, and basically his thinking was, he wanted some growth, career growth, and that. And when I analyzed his writing, I could see that his self-esteem and self-confidence is low. Now this is a very simple trait, we say very easily, your confidence level is little low.
Mhm.
That is not a major thing, that is not a bigger problem as such. But I could see that he's very intelligent, very knowledgeable person, has great goals and very focused, but he's losing on many opportunities. He's not getting that financial growth as well, and he's not getting uh, good results in his career. So I started asking him certain questions, and then he said, yeah, this confidence problem is the old problem. He was in engineering. He used to stay in a hostel, and till 12th he was into certain staying and in some village, and
Mhm.
his education from that background only. So when he came to city, he felt a lot conscious about himself, and staying with all the people in the hostel, it was very difficult for him, that phase. And his confidence, instead of getting his confidence some boost, the whole confidence level went down while he was pursuing his engineering. And everything, he was good in technicalities and analytical skills, everything. But because of the low confidence, he couldn't get into the company which he wanted to get in.
Mhm.
Then he got a job and everything, but he couldn't present himself, market himself properly. He has to, adjust on low salary package. The first impact of low confidence on his career, on his profession. Huh? Second impact, second thing he told me, that he used to like one girl in college, and she was a good friend of his, but he could never say that yes, let's spend our life together. He could never tell her because of the low confidence. The second impact in the relationship. And the third thing which I could sense from his writing is, I asked him whether you had certain stress related issues, like something migraine, or some blood pressure related issues. So he said, yeah, migraine. I'm having this from a couple of years now, and
Mhm.
blood pressure related issue is not a consistent one, but sometimes I felt a lot of discomfort. So I checked and I found out it's a low blood pressure. So what happened? The relationship and the profession, these are the two things which live with you each and every day.
Yeah.
If you are happy in your relation, if you are happy in your profession, your life is happy. Obviously the whole happiness or your health is dependent on your mindset. It's
Mm.
not always the infection and all which we carry from outside. It's what happens within our mind which reflects on our health as well. He was not happy with his profession, first of all, and also in the relationship also he had a regret, of course, because he liked somebody and he couldn't tell her that yes, let's get together and spend our lives together. So that regret, that guilt, or that thinking about possibility, what could have been, that used to eat him every day, and that created an impact on his health. So three areas of his life, three major areas of life. What else the life has? Health, relationship, profession.
That's
I
it.
would say spirituality is the another dimension. But if these three are not in line, how we are going to how
Reach it.
we are going to focus on the growth of your soul? If
Yeah.
yeah, so just improvement in his self confidence. Then we started. I explained him about the whole thing, and improving his self confidence was the major goal. He practiced it. He consistently did it, and then he got a great leap in career. Yes, that's what we saw. Even in students, where I told you about that, we saw the suicidal tendencies. I want to tell on this session also how you can see that suicidal tendencies from writing. So if you see that around you, please talk with that person. Uh, so they were very overwhelmed. They like spoke their minds to me.
Mm.
They poured out their heart. Yeah, and I hope now I don't know what, because that was a very short session in college, but what happened afterwards, that I don't know. But yes, of course, we told them that this thing you can practice. And you know what, Varun, even if you have not learned graphology, or anybody, if he just practice writing for 10 to 15 minutes every day, you don't need to write diaries and all, because people are very afraid somebody will read my diary and all. That's
Mm.
why they stopped writing diaries. But you can just write whatever your thoughts are, whatever your anxieties are, and just tear it off. Don't need to put it with you and read it again and again. um, in other way, I would say never read it again. Just write it and tear it off. It will reduce lot of stress, lot of burden. There are certain hand movements also which reduces anxiety, which calms your mind. Shall I tell them right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the one moment. If you consistently do it, no angles, only curves, curves, curves. So if you do it like couple of pages, it will calm a mind. It will calm, there are some people who are always in hurry. They are like one after another, things are, all piling up, and they are very anxious about how doing one after another thing. For them, this moment is really good. They can just practice it. Just sit comfortably, get into your own, breathe, get into some deep breathing, and then start doing this. It will calm their mind a lot for 10 minutes. And the another moment is this. A lot of people even practice it before some important meetings, or some, if they are facing some complex situation. In that also, it calms the mind, improves the focus. You might be familiar with start from above, and then continue doing that till and stop here. I mean, start from above, stop below. And if the pen stops, don't continue from that. Start with a different line. Stop, and then again start. Like that.
Okay. And what does this do?
This calms your mind, improves your focus.
Because this type of thing I am doing since childhood. Nobody said it, but I just like doing it.
Wow, that's very interesting. And now you can tell me, how do you feel after doing it?
I don't know how I feel and why I do it, but when I have a pen and paper, I have a tendency, even while you were talking, I was doing something like that. And
Doodling, even doodling reduces a lot of stress, the people I
can you
am not
see this? It is
yeah,
not.
yeah. Try to avoid angles, just get into the curves. Just get into that curvy moment. That's it.
And so probably you can understand what the painters are thinking when they are making their paintings too.
Painters, I have not studied much in details about the drawing analysis. Yeah, I have a fair idea about it, but and I have done certain drawing analysis, but just as a fun, but not professionally, not a detailed study. But there is one very interesting thing. My mentor, who has solved one case with the drawing analysis, he caught the thief. There was theft happen in the shop, and almost 10 to 12 computers were stolen. And he asked everybody, and there were a lot of people who couldn't write, properly. So he asked them to send a drawing sample. And from that drawing sample, he could derive that who has stolen the computer.
I see. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm literally amazed by what you did today here. And
Thank you.
you wanted to tell me something, and you said you will tell at the end of the session.
Yes, there are certain things I want to show. Varun, can I just change the background so it will be more clear?
Yeah. Okay.
I would just remove this background. There is a blank background. Just a second. So there are certain things which you can start practicing in your writing, and I will tell you what it will result, how it will help you. First of all, the letters, like letter A, letter B, letter D,
Hmm.
then letter P, and letter Q. These letters are closed, right?
Hmm.
Originally, these letters are closed.
Hmm.
Just make sure these are always closed.
Okay.
Because what happens, a lot of people while writing B, if they are writing in cursive, they write like this, like this. It remains open. Even for P it happens like this
Hmm.
for a chess. So loss of energy happens because of this. So make sure you close properly and then move ahead. Now, even if you are writing cursive or writing, you can write like this, right? You can close it and go ahead. Same with B. You can close it and go ahead.
Hmm.
Or B can be written like this also. Some people like that.
Yeah.
Even that is fine. But make sure you close it. Close the letter properly. This is one thing. When I told you about a letter T, whoever students, this letter T and letter S is very, very important for students as well as for professionals. Letter T properly, either you can write it, some people write T properly and some people write like that. These people are more soft in talking and yeah, and these are more straightforward, sometimes blunt.
Hmm.
But make sure the crossbar is little high and at least this is 50% of T. It's more than 50, above this middle line
Hmm.
and it is properly formed. It's little high and proper cross line because the small one, as I told you earlier, this will improve their confidence, this will improve their determination of doing anything. And this T, change in T and proper S will improve if they practice it regularly. I can tell you it will improve their success. Definitely. Success in exam, success in profession, business, whichever case it is. So S, now I will tell you the importance of S. This T is clear.
Hmm.
Do you have any questions about this?
Hmm.
T.
I understood why.
Yeah. Now S, for S, letter S is basically for your own self as well as letter of sympathy. So make sure the upper part of S and lower part of S. The lower part of S is either same as upper part or bigger than upper part.
Hmm.
So this letter S, I won't be able to explain because it's a, I would say it's a very, the concept is a very detailed concept, so I won't be able to tell all the things. But basically, this letter is for your own self as well as it is like what is happening inside our mind as well as in our body and as well as the sympathy, your sympathy aspect. This is reflected from letter S. So even if now I have seen in your writing, your S is like that also, like this.
Hmm.
Even mine is like that. Even that is fine, but that's why I told you that you are not more into talking sympathy. You will act directly on sympathy. But make sure that if you are writing, starting a letter with S, even if you have this starting stroke, make sure that the upper part is less and lower part is more.
Yeah.
Like this.
In that also my upper part is very small, and I also
Yeah,
close my
yeah.
lower part. That was I was looking at, because I make my S in a certain way. If you can see, I make my S this way.
Yeah. If you can remove that big loop, it will help. This big loop. Yeah,
Okay.
if you can remove that, that will be fine.
So what
And
what can you see if there is a, what can you see through that?
I told you that not just S, there are a lot of other letters also where I see that starting stroke, which is not required in that letter. Like I guess in your letter H also, I saw that starting stroke.
Yeah.
This is a waste of time.
Mm.
I mean, a small stroke, still fine. You are taking your own time, your own pace to start. But if it's get little longer, then you're unnecessary wasting the time to start anything.
Good point.
Yeah, that's for with a starting stroke. Some people have this such a long starting stroke. You would say you can analyze people around you on these 4 5 points. Even there are simple things like the slant of your writing. Now, uh, suppose I'm writing Varun. Okay, Varun, I have written like this. This is comparatively straight slant. I can write like this. It's very difficult to write in different slant. It is a little moving left on the left side. So these people are comparatively reserved if it's moving on the left side. The straight slant is your slant is mainly straight. Sometimes it fluctuates. That shows your moodiness.
Ah. I see.
Sometimes it goes on a right. If the people who are consistently right in the little right is fine, it's good actually. But if it's going on a major right, that shows impulsiveness. It's something like this shows impulsiveness. So impulsive people, they are very good in, they have lots of friends, lot of social circle, but decision making could be a little tough for them, or they might get into situation which is not much favorable to them. Like they went for buying some curtains and they saw just a good colored sofa and they got sofa. So impulsive. They they won't think much before taking any step. So it depends then. It depends on other factor of their personality as well, that how that situation will be beneficial to them, or sometimes it might hits them unfavorably.
I see. One thing more, you said you will tell at the end about what to see if someone has a suicidal tendencies.
Yeah. Very important. Suicidal and accidental writings. Now this is a page. Okay, can you see it properly? I think this was more visible than the white part, so I prefer to write.
No, this is good.
Okay. So this is a page. Now I will first show the accidental writing. So I'm writing. I am breaking the margin. So when the margin is breaking, that is accidental writing. I can write like this also. This is not accidental writing. This word is not properly fitting in here. That's why some people do like that, right?
Yeah.
So that is not accidental writing, but when the margin breaks, that is accidental writing. And accidents doesn't mean just a physical accidents, mental accidents as well. So taking wrong decisions, they couldn't see what lies ahead. They couldn't analyze that properly. And physical accident is the manifestation of that thought process. And the another is suicidal handwriting. Whenever you see signature in signature.
Wait a minute.
Also,
Let that go. Let that go. It's gone right now. Yeah.
So suicidal handwriting. The person is writing. It's very difficult to even do that because that thought process is very difficult. If person writes something and at the end it falls, it just falls, letter falls. That is a suicidal writing. it's very difficult to write that way. Okay. Suddenly the letter falls. Or in signature also you would see. There are cases I have read, I don't remember the names, but those were the people suddenly they killed themselves, and suddenly just before that incident happened, some famous people, just before one of them is a writer, just when that incident happened, just couple of months before that, if you see their writing, the writing were like this. It was happening and dropping, and even their signature were like this. Signature were like this, and again suddenly it was dropping. Like in signature, I'm writing like this. Suddenly it drops. So this reflects suicidal tendency. And there are certain things I would like to tell about a good signature. Your signature should be always going up. May not be very, like this.
Like mine.
Yeah.
Mine takes off.
Yeah. It could be like this, but it's better if it's little going up. It should never go down. Never go down. Even overall slant should never go down. And there are two things. What happens with some people, they're writing their signature in upper slant, but letters are coming down. I mean, now if you see, the overall signature is in upper slant, but here after G, the D and H is coming down. And again, this shows the inconsistency in their growth and in their profession. So make sure that it's all properly going up. It's properly going up. And very important thing, never cut your own letters. Doing this on signature, no, a big no. Or cutting your own letter some way, doing like this, and then doing Mugdha. A big no.
Why?
This is a self-sabotage. You're harming yourself with your own actions.
I see.
Consciously, subconsciously, both ways.
And what about those two dots? Which people pick?
Yeah.
Does
That's
that mean
fine.
something?
I mean, yeah. That's just some people who are social, or they are very comfortable having a big friend circle. They have these dots. Having a dot or not having a dot, it's not going to impact much. Having a line is a good thing. If you want to have a dot, that's fine. Not more than 2 dots, but 3. That is too much of energy distraction outside. 1 dot, 2 dot, that's fine. And this line is a good thing. And there is something called, I don't agree with it completely, because case to case it differs. But generally, people they suggest that writing your own letter plus father letter and signature is overall complete signature, good signature. But I have seen number of cases, especially father or husband's initial. Now I have seen people, especially ladies, who have been already divorced. They are divorced, and for some people there is no father influence at all. I mean, either they have been separated from their parents from long time, or father was never available with them. Father was working in some different country. They were staying in different country, or father passed away at early age. In that case, it's not possible for that person to put the father letter, because there is no influence of father, either mentally or physically. So I won't suggest, it depends on case to case basis, but overall, which things I just told you, that it should be upward going, or putting a single line under the signature, and writing your initial is very important. Writing your initial first. Some people start with surname. Instead of that, writing your initial is very important at the start. And generally the signature is should be either equal to your normal writing or little bigger than normal writing. And the smaller signature than the normal writing is that reflects little, low confidence in public, or low self-image in public. Overall, these people are very confident in their comfort zone at their house, but when they get into their social space, they become very conscious, little fearful, insecure. So it's better to have either the same kind of letter size or little bigger in the signature.
How do you remember all these things?
Uh, it's a practice, nothing else. And the way we have been taught was very wonderful. It mainly happens whenever you get a practical exposure, then things are like fixed in your life.
Do you also
It's
teach
not just
this science to other people?
yes, I have started with program for student, because again, there are some programs are in pipeline, especially for parents and for business owners. But currently, I have a program for students.
Sounds great.
So they can learn some basics about graphology and some things which are going to benefit them in their career as well as in professional life. Like this. These things are not, unfortunately, these things are not being taught in school. Increasing your mental abilities, increasing your self-confidence, increasing your focus. Especially in our education system, we tend to focus more on, the theoretical skill set. So these things are very important if they have been the way to handle finance, skill set to handle finances, skill set to handle your own anxieties, own stress, something which can develop your personality, something which can transform you. These things, I feel it should be incorporated somewhere. Something.
It's amazing what you told me today. I have one last question before we will wrap up this podcast, and it is that first, does your readings and your analysis changes depending on the gender of that particular person?
No, not much. I mean, it implies same things, but of course, like for letter S, if a girl is drawing letter S in a particular way, the consequences will be different for a girl and will be different for a boy. That is there in certain letters, but otherwise the connotation of the letter doesn't change, the basic meaning of the letter.
One more question just came into my mind. Do you have, sorry, continue, you say.
Yes, yeah, just one thing. There are certain things which directly come from parents. Some influences, they directly come from parents, and if they are not corrected within ourselves, we tend to pass on to the next generation. So it is very, very, very important from that particular point to change those things. And one most important thing I would say, that externally you can do 10 things to change something. I mean, of course, graphology is one of the tools which you can use to alter your programming. When it is supported by meditation, it improves the process so much and it becomes so fast. So whenever you want to shift something outside, within you, meditation supports it amazingly. Even 5 minutes, even 10 minutes, whichever time you can give in your whole day. So whenever I take graphotherapy, I give graphotherapy and it goes for a longer period. So we suggest the meditation along with that also. So that is important.
Yeah, it also makes sense. When you are meditating, you are a little bit more focused, and also when your mind runs here and there, it also
Yeah.
depicts it on your handwriting also. Like we used to
Yeah.
do it in exams. When we are so focused, our writing is so bad.
Yeah.
I have to write it down somehow. Yeah, last question, Mugdha. This is all about this English lipi. I don't know what lipi is in English. What is lipi in English? I don't know. But what about other languages like Hindi, Urdu?
Scripts. Yeah, we
Scripts.
say scripts. Even Hindi, English, we can do the handwriting analysis. And I have been researching, and I have learned for English language, and mainly a lot of work happened in that language. That's why also that might be the reason. But yes, it could be done in our local languages as well, vernacular languages.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking that what if someone writes in some other language?
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
you know, then,
it can happen.
but you can still.
And there are different ways. I mean, in English, I might tell them to change something in a particular way. For somebody who is writing Marathi or Hindi, it may not be the same, but in a different way, they can have a same impact. I have specialization in that particular thing, but there might be some other people who are working in the vernacular language as well.
Amazing. So thanks, Mugdha, for doing this podcast. And tell my viewers where they can reach you, and if they want a session with you, they can have it.
Okay. You can reach me on Facebook or Instagram. Both of I have a Facebook business page, and as well as on Instagram I have a business account. Or you can directly message me or mail me on coachmugdha@gmail.com. Or I have a contact number. Can we present the contact number or something on
I will write everything down
in the
description.
Okay.
Everything will be there. And
so it is available in your description as well. Facebook, Instagram, or email or phone number, everything.
Great. Awesome. And it was so nice talking to you. And thanks once again for doing this, Mugdha. And I enjoyed a lot. I mean, it was
Thank you
amazing.
so much, Arun. And I must appreciate the way you have been reaching out to so amazing people. I have gone through the videos which you have uploaded on the YouTube, and such a variety of topics it has, and amazing work. And it's like, taking knowledge and sharing, spreading that everywhere. Great job. And your questions also were very, very nice questions, very interesting questions. It made me think and realize few more things while I was answering you. So it was great talking to you and answering all those questions.
A pleasure, and learning was all mine today. So
and I hope that I added some value, some tips which you can take from this station and continue practicing in your writing. And it's 100% it's going to give you results if you write just 1 or 2 pages every day. It's so fantastic.
No,
and thank you so much for the time.
I will definitely watch this video myself again and again, and maybe especially closing down those words. I will be doing that, and let's see how it goes, because I know I cannot. So amazing. And viewers, please follow her, and if you want to get in touch with her, all the links are in description, contacts and email. And thanks, Mugdha, once again, and hope we talk someday again. And
yes, definitely, would love to.
Bye-bye. Adios.
Bye see you, everyone. Bye.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.